Back here on Southeastern 16, I'm Chase Robinson, as we will talk about the SEC football preseason media poll that came out today following SEC Media Days. I put out my predicted order of finish earlier this week, but the media poll is out, so we'll take a look at that in just a second. But first, got to remind you about Bet Online. They are the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything online sports betting. Right now, you can receive a 50% free bet of up to $250 on your first deposit to bet on anything from the Olympics to baseball to Formula One racing. Bet Online has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head on over to the online casino. You can get in on a game of blackjack or poker. They have over 150 slots games available to you as well. Head over to the website today to get in on the action, and you can use promo code BELIEVE, B-L-E-A-V, for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. That is promo code BELIEVE, B-L-E-A-V, for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet Online, the game starts here. So Monday, I revealed to you my predicted order of finish from 16 all the way down to 1 for SEC football for 2024. So every year at SEC Media Days, and all the credentialed SEC media members have a chance to put in their predicted order of finish. So I showed you my poll for this year. So on Friday of the week of SEC Media Days, the conference office releases who the media voted to be 1 through 16 in the SEC. So it has come out, and it is we will dive into it here of how the media thinks that the SEC is going to shake out. You know, there's not a ton of surprises on here, but it kind of played out how a lot of people thought it would. So here we go. Let's look at the SEC's media poll for the preseason. There you see number 16, the Vanderbilt Commodores, followed by Mississippi State at 15, Arkansas at 14, the South Carolina Gamecocks at 13, Florida at 12, Kentucky at 11, the Auburn Tigers, number 10, Texas A&M, number 9, Oklahoma, number 8, Tennessee, 7, Missouri, 6, LSU, 5, Ole Miss, 4, Alabama, 3, Texas, number 2, and the Georgia Bulldogs is who they have there at number 1. So to me, not a lot of surprises on this. It's pretty typical. It actually reads a lot like the one that I put out the other day. A couple of changes, a couple of different ones there, but that's how the media voted on the poll this year. And you know, I think a lot of that is to be said. And a lot of folks, of course, think Georgia will be the SEC championship. They received 165 points, did Georgia. Texas received 27, and Alabama received 12. Ole Miss received 4. But yeah, I think it's good. I think sometimes the media, we'll go out on a whim and go with some different teams. Compared to mine, I had Arkansas at 15 when I did it the other day. The consensus of the media said Mississippi State 15, Arkansas 14. I had Florida and South Carolina swapped. So that's another difference there on mine. And then I had Missouri 5 and LSU 6. They have that one swapped around. And then I had Oklahoma 7, Tennessee 8. They have that swapped around, but a lot of them are in the same, and I will say, just, in my own opinion, the reason I had Oklahoma ahead of Tennessee, I'm looking for the Sooners to have a big year this year. I'm not quite sold on what Tennessee has, and I think they're going to be a good football team. There's no doubt about it, but I think that Oklahoma has a very talented roster and can make some noise in year one in the SEC. And kind of the same thing with with Missouri LSU. I had Missouri ahead of LSU when I did my preseason poll. Just based off the fact there's still a lot to learn about LSU, especially on defense. Now, they've made some upgrades, but how's that going to translate to the field? And I think with the amount of guys Missouri has coming back off of what was a fantastic year last year, I think Missouri is a potential playoff team. And so that's why I ranked Missouri ahead of LSU. And when it comes to kind of the bottom half of the poll, to me, it could go a number of ways. And like I mentioned, they had in the media poll, they have Florida ahead of South Carolina. I had South Carolina ahead of Florida. I think Florida's got a very talented roster. But, how's it going to play out? They've got, the toughest schedule in college football. Can the roster play to the level of talent that they're going to be playing? I think that's the case to be had there. And so that's why I had South Carolina ahead of Florida on my poll. And I had Mississippi State ahead of Arkansas, kind of based off of the fact that I think Mississippi State may surprise some folks this year. Again, they have a tough schedule as well. Arkansas is just they're replacing so many guys, and Mississippi State is as well. But I'm interested to see how the quarterback play is at Arkansas. Is there a big difference under Bobby Petrino at Arkansas? Is Sam Pittman going to survive the tough schedule that they have? So there's so many questions around Arkansas and Mississippi State both. That's why I had them towards the bottom. But just based off this poll, I mean, I think a lot of folks are really high on LSU. They've got them number 5. And in a year where possibly 5 SEC teams could make the playoff, that would have the Tigers in the playoffs. So I'm not surprised by anything on the preseason SEC media poll, especially with the top 4 teams. I think everybody would have these as their top 4 teams. But LSU, I think it shows a lot of folks are high on LSU and maybe a better defense than what we've seen in years or last year. I think offense again is going to be fine. They're going to have great numbers. But I thought possibly Missouri would be a little higher than the consensus of the media has them there at number 6. And then again with Oklahoma as well, I think there's a lot to discuss when it comes to Oklahoma. I think they may surprise a lot of folks when it comes to this year. That's why I had them at number 7 ahead of Tennessee, because I think the Sooners could make some noise this year in the SEC. So that is the media poll, the preseason media poll for the SEC football media days as it wrapped up yesterday. They sent the preseason poll out this morning after tallying everybody's votes and polls together. So that's what it looks like. And they also first team offense. We had a chance to vote on that as well. And really no surprise when it comes to first team offense in the media's preseason poll. Carson Beck, first team quarterback. Trevor Etienne, first team running back, as well as Jarquez Hunter of Auburn, first team running back. The 2 wide receivers on the list, Luther Burden from Missouri and Trey Harris from Ole Miss there. Tight end from Ole Miss, Caden Prieskorn, was first team all offense. The offensive lineman, Alabama's Tyler Booker, as well as LSU's Will Campbell, Texas's Kelvin Banks Jr., and then Georgia's Tate Rutledge, and then center Cooper Mays from Tennessee, making the first team all offense. First team all defense, defensive lineman James Pierce from Tennessee, from Ole Miss, Walter Nolan, Deion Walker from Kentucky, and Nizar Stackhouse from Georgia. Linebackers, Harold Perkins of LSU, Danny Stutzman of Oklahoma, Deontay Lawson of Alabama, and Michael Williams from Georgia. Defensive backs on the first team All-SEC, Malachi Starks from Georgia, Malachi Moore from Alabama, Billy Bowman from Oklahoma, and Maxwell Hairston from Kentucky. So those are the first team offense and defense that was also voted on by the media. So that is a look at the preseason poll for the SEC media, as well as the first team offense and defense. We'll have you covered all things SEC football here on Southeastern 16. Subscribe, like, hey, drop a comment what you think about the preseason media poll on this video below, and check out all the great content we have: football, basketball, and baseball here on Southeastern 16. I'm Chase Robinson. We'll be back with more great SEC football coverage, so subscribe to our channel here at Southeastern 16, and everything, of course, brought to you by BetOnline.